sweeties, how are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, sweetheart, kindly smash that subscribe button, turn your notifications so you are notified each time I upload, and please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all so much, and I am saying a very big shout out to every one of you for all the love and support you all shower me here with. I am truly grateful, and you are super sweet. So today we'll be talking something very important, and it's about what is going on in Florida, because as it stands, it's really like, like with each passing day, something horrible is always happening in Florida. And it's actually about African American woman who was removed from her position by who? Ron DeSantis, right? And then before we get into this video, I am going to say that most of the time she is a Democrat or something. Most of the time, some of the black people do some things that they think it is not going to affect them because they are maybe there are Democrats and all that, and they see a whole lot of things playing out all this while. I mean, a lot of things has been happening in Florida. Florida is where woke goes to die. I mean, ban CRT, ban everything black, because everything about black is violence. There's their history and the rest of it. They all saw all this playing out, and they did not look for a way to stop it. Right? And as it stands, she has been removed. I mean, this person is actually a duly elected person by the people. And this is now how you know how fascist Ron DeSantis is. He single-handedly removed this person. I mean, I think she is on probation. I don't know, but he removed her, right? And now I am calling, sometimes you all think you are a black person and you are a low-key black person. No, it's either you are for black people or you are against black people. All this while they saw all this playing out, they did not come out to stop him. But now she is crying all out because Ron DeSantis removed her. And now democracy dies in Florida. You all knew all this before, but refused to act on it. I am going to roll this clip. We'll come back to talk about it. I absolutely want to read all your comments. Let me know what you all think in the comments. So here we go.
All right, well, good morning. I think this is the moment we've all been waiting for. If we're mourning anything this morning, it is the loss of democracy. I am your duly elected state attorney for the 9th Judicial Circuit, and nothing done by a weak dictator can change that. This is an outrage. 3 years ago, I was elected by the people of the 9th Judicial Circuit to lead this circuit. And yes, to do things unconventionally, to do things differently. But I didn't hide. I didn't say that I would do things and I didn't do them. I didn't say I wouldn't do things and not did them. I did exactly what I said I would do, and that is what you want from an elected official. All right, well, good morning. I think this is the moment we've all been waiting.
I'm going to be very honest, and this is going to be my honest opinion. Okay, first of all, am I right or wrong? How many terms that DeSantis had ran as a governor for the state of Florida? This is his second term, correct? During the first term, you guys should have seen the wrongdoings that he did. And that was from the time he was aware that the home insurance, that the companies from the home insurance were going to default on all the insurance then. He should have turned around and said, you know what? You cannot do that, or find somewhere in the law that could have stipulate them and prevent them from doing that. Because I know somewhere that's against the law. He didn't do that. He allowed it to happen. And then guess what? When the people them had the hurricane, because you guys had a hurricane prior before the last time, correct? And even including this time again. That should have been a red flag when he was not doing anything to rescue you guys. Okay? And even save the economy. First and foremost, when he started banning the African American history and also coming with the anti-woke law, You, as even though this is your third term, this is your third year being as a prosecutor or a state investigator or whatever title you are, and even the prior person who was, they should have looked at all of these things that he did was a violation of the Constitution, considering the fact that he had rights because he was a senator to make the laws, but he also had to regulate the laws and make sure the laws stand for the federal. All right? And you guys know that because you guys took law and you guys have a license under state jurisdiction as an attorney. So as a specter attorney or whatever entitlement you have in the legality sense, you should have made something where you knew that he did something, a violation. Okay? A violation to the state and also a violation to the people. You guys should have turned around and addressed this issue and even put a violation on him. Even if you had to take him to the Supreme jurisdiction of the District of Florida. And the same thing even to the highest court. And show all the indictments of him and all the things that he have done was a violation to the state, which was harmful and also detrimental to the citizens of Florida. But all you minorities, and I'm including the black and the brown, had voted for him. When you knew that he was not doing an excellent job from the first term when he was a governor. Okay? And you don't blame the COVID because you had many ways to go and vote. Okay? Some of y'all didn't vote. Some of y'all did vote. And then guess what? Majority of the people in the Hispanic community, because there's a large population of you guys have voted for him. Now you're seeing the low quality and how he's not even acknowledging you guys. In the beginning he was because he wanted a vote. Okay? That is the biggest con job in the political game. Being influential to the poor, and then afterwards they can go and collect their bag and do what they have to do. Come on now. You guys have to point the finger on yourselves because you're the one that did it. And then you guys also, covered up his behavior and accepted his behavior. From the moment as you as a black woman and you hear that he's saying that he's going against the black American history and how he changed the curriculum and even going into the colleges and going to this and going to that and even want to change the history and knowing that slavery was this and we know exactly what slavery was. Right there and then, you should have put your brakes on and you had the jurisdiction to do that. So I don't want to hear anything from you guys. This is everybody's trying to show a face, to show that they're active, to want to keep their position of their job because they know that election time is coming. Y'all need to stop playing game. There is so much confusion, not only in the state of Florida, but everywhere with all these people who claim that they are leaders for the people. You guys are leaders for yourselves. And I'm being very crystal clear with all of y'all. Okay? You guys are not about helping the people, especially the working class, the poor class, and the middle class. You guys are working about yourself. And your guys are just as bad because you allowed him to do this. You fed him and you spoiled him and you pampered him. And you made him go into that thing because at that time you was living in luxury. Now you see that he's stepping into your area, in your jurisdiction. Now you want to do something. This is typical with certain black people, especially when they have a position. Okay? I don't know who this lady is, and she doesn't know who I am. But it's typical when they come and show their black face and talking all these words and things to make people say, yeah, she's for our side. You guys are never on our side. You're only on the side because he stepped on your guys' toes. Okay? He put you guys in a bad position where you cannot get your power. End of story. You guys should have stopped him from the moment he was doing all these things against all minorities and all against the people of Florida and even against the people who are citizens and even the ones who are immigrants. You guys should have stopped it before it was too late. Now you created a monster and we're not feeling sorry for you guys. People that own businesses, oh, that's not my problem. From you see the man come and mess with your culture, everybody should have put their hands together and say something and do something. Okay? With a pen and a paper and take it to the jurisdiction. When you saw him messing with the schools and the teachers them, Everybody should have said something, especially the union. They didn't do anything. From the time he went and go take out the money for the pension, you should have put a stop right there and say, what are you doing? No, the funding is for the school and for the teachers. You guys allow him to do it. You created a monster. Now you have to stand there and take care of this business, and then pray that he doesn't become a president. This is the time when you take it in perspective. Since he's been so arrogant, don't feed his arrogancy no more. Turn your back against him when the voting time comes and you don't vote for him.
By a weak dictator can change that.
Looks like Ron DeSantis and the Republican regime are trying to steal our joy here a little bit. Crush your spirit and crush your soul. We've been on a roll. And what's happened in Alabama. And people standing up for their fucking rights and fighting back against white privilege and white supremacist ideologies. But no, you can't stand that, can you? Huh? You GOP fascist. And then you pull this stunt. But your whole move has always been going to dictatorship where nobody will have human rights to exist. Now, this isn't the first state attorney that DeSantis has went after. He's going after anybody that represents the Democrat Party. DeSantis suspends another elected prosecutor. So that's number 2 state prosecutors that have been taken out of their position after they have been democratically elected. Y'all remember when Ron did this? Ron DeSantis replaces Palm Beach election chief after 2018 election woes, and there was no election woes. But Ron DeSantis wanted to install a Republican lawyer to oversee their votes. Fucking little dictator. DeSantis targets black-held congressional seats and his own party. Governor DeSantis wants to eliminate 2 proposed black voting districts. And this is happening all across red fascist states where representatives that are democratically elected are being denied their seats or being thrown out of the office here. Much like how Houston ISD got rid of the whole Houston ISD school board members, that were democratically elected. And Greg Abbott and the Republican fascist regime, put their own people into those spots. So they can continue the indoctrination of children. You're seeing it in Oklahoma. You're seeing it in Idaho. You're seeing it in Missouri, Louisiana, and all fucking red fascist states. I don't think they make enough voting chairs at this moment. You hear me? And again, this is going on everywhere. As y'all remember now, the GOP regime in Georgia passed a bill that can remove Fani Willis. As you see here, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp signed a bill into law that could result in the ousting of Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis, who is weighing criminal charges against former dictator wannabe T-Rump. Fuck the Christian nationalist and the GOP fascist.
Morning, anything this morning, it is the loss of democracy.
Hey friends, hope you guys are having a good day. So this here, Florida, y'all better pull together and vote these people out, because like she said, right now we're more than democracy. She is the state attorney for Florida that apparently been suspended by the weak, fake dictator governor of Florida, DeSantis. Got to pull together, people. I don't care if you black, white, Hispanic, Mexican, Asian. I don't care what you are. You got to pull together, because he's running y'all state down to the ground. I mean, all the way down to the ground. All the way down. Like, y'all about to see hell down there, if you ain't already seeing it. But, yeah, we need to pull together to get people like DeSantis out of office. Because he's not doing nothing for your state. He's not doing nothing for the people. Nothing at all. I don't know why he suspended her and then saying this here, but she was elected by the people. Therefore, why is he suspending her like she's at a 9-to-5 job? We have to come together, people, and get our country back. They, the Senate, the governors, the mayors, all of them, they work for us. We pay their salary and our taxes and all of that. We got to get our country back. We just got to. And Florida, y'all better do something, because it looks like it's getting worse by the minute. I'm just saying.
If we're mourning anything this morning, it is the loss of democracy.
This is now the second fucking time DeSantis has done this. Moving a duly elected official. And I'm looking at these threads and other TikToks where people are praising him. People who don't fucking live here and they don't fucking know are praising him because they think he's fighting corruption. And I just saw a comment on someone else's thread saying, oh, he should come up here to wherever, somewhere in Sarasota, because the police department's really corrupt. And I'm like, you guys think that he cares about corrupt police? He's only removing Democrats, you idiots. This is not about corruption. Anyway, remember when this happened? This lady, Trisha Cotham, North Carolina state rep, she announced she was switching her political affiliation after she was elected. And then that resulted in a veto-proof supermajority for the Republicans. You remember? So here's my fucking idea. Why can't we just run a plant? Why can't we run a perfect Republican candidate? And we all switch our party affiliation to Republican so that we can vote in the primaries. And then our plant is the candidate. And then everybody votes for our plant, who then switches to become a Democrat. Or a leftist, really. Like, this is why the Democrats lose everything. They're willing to play dirty, and we never do. Anyway, somebody get back to me about this plan. I feel like it's perfect, and I really don't know how it hasn't been done before. If this plan is illegal, this was a joke. It's a joke.
All right, well, good morning. I think this is the moment we've all been waiting.
So Trump was just charged with the Klan Act, and I believe that DeSantis needs to also be charged, indicted with the Klan Act. You cannot just suspend or remove a duly elected public official, democratically elected public official who was elected in a fair and free election. You cannot just remove that person because you don't like their political beliefs, right? So I just want to give a couple of facts on who State Attorney Monique Worrell is. So she was elected to be State Attorney of the 9th Judicial Circuit Court overseeing Orange County. She was the first state attorney to be elected of Caribbean descent and the second African-American to be elected. She was elected to the position in November 2020 after running on a progressive platform of criminal justice reform, and she was endorsed by VP Harris and Senator Bernie Sanders. So she was also elected with nearly 70% of the vote in 2020 in Orange County. And she succeeded the first African-American state attorney to be elected in Florida. She ran on criminal justice reform. She, previous to being elected to state attorney, she was the chief legal officer at a criminal justice reform nonprofit reform alliance. She has also been a clinical law professor at the University of Florida College of Law and the founding director of the university's Criminal Justice Center. So this is somebody who is extremely accomplished, extremely qualified, and was elected in a fair and free election by the people by nearly 70% of the votes. And that's who DeSantis just removed from office. So if the Klan Act is used in order to pursue crimes where people's constitutional rights have been violated, there was a conspiracy, right, to violate your constitutionally protected rights, then I say we need to use it against DeSantis right now and everybody who was involved in removing Monique Worrell. Not only is this incredibly just dangerous, because this is what fascists do, right? This is how dictators operate, right? So it's not just dangerous, but it's also numbing, because we have been dealing with this now for several years. And my concern is that people have grown almost numb, almost desensitized to these kinds of events, these kinds of acts. So much so that it's not even really getting a lot of attention. You know, there was a little blurb, on the news this morning, but it's not like this is the kind of thing that's being discussed 24/7. I don't see people posting about it online. I don't see anybody organizing, or marching in response to it, because we are numb. And they rely on us being numb. They rely on us feeling disheartened, disillusioned, and exhausted at this point. But this criminal is running for president right now. Like, he is running for president. And unfortunately, the political pundits, seem to think that the only battle that we're facing right now is the battle to avoid another Trump presidency. And that's not true. I don't see anybody running for president on the GOP side that isn't equally as dangerous as Trump. Most of them have refused, up until maybe recently, most of them have refused to even acknowledge Biden as a duly elected president of the United States. They are concerned about the MAGA base. They are acquiescent to the most extreme, cult of the GOP party. And so they're cowards, right? They're cowards. They're not going to stand up against any of this happening right now. So it's up to us. And let's be reminded of what the Supreme Court just said about affirmative action, and put the removal of Monique Worrell in context with that, right? So you have only the second ever Black person elected to be the top state attorney in the state of Florida, removed from office by a Tea Party, MAGA governor who cares nothing about the rule of law, and the only thing that this person is committed to is making sure that he stays in power. He's committed to his white supremacist agenda. So as far as I'm concerned, at this point, nothing else really matters, right? Like, we have dealing with abortion, right? The ban of abortion, the banning of, teaching children about Black history, teaching children about the truth of this country, teaching children about the struggles for civil rights, the struggles for women's rights, the struggle for LGBTQIA plus rights. We're fighting over, talking about coalition building, right? Like, none of the things that we've been able to achieve in this country has happened without coalition building. It has been with Black people and white people and brown people coming together and saying, yes, we agree. We want to live in a multiracial, multi-ethnic democracy. We believe in free and fair elections. We believe in all of those things, right? We believe in, the Declaration of Independence, for God's sakes, right? That all people are created equal. So at this point, nothing else matters, right? The only thing that we really need to be doing right now is, making sure that we are electing people in office who will not violate our civil and political rights. That we need to be ringing the alarm every single time they do some dictator fascist thing. And we need to stop having this conversation as if we're talking about Trump or them, right? Like as if this is a better option. It is not a better option because we can already see what's happening in the state of Florida. If DeSantis is elected or someone like him is elected, we'll be in another, Trump situation anyway. I mean, we're not fighting over budgets anymore, right? We're not fighting over budgets. We're not even fighting over values. They've made clear who they are, literally. At this point, we are literally fighting over our freedom. That's what this boils down to. We are literally fighting over whether or not we're going to live in a democracy, a free country, or not. That's what this boils down to, right? And I can tell you that, this feels like we're in a pot of boiling water, right? Like the water right now is just warm. It's not quite hot yet. It's not boiling yet, right? But we're sitting in it, right? And it feels like we're having difficulty distinguishing between warm and hot because the water is, slowly getting warmer and warmer and warmer, right? And it's becoming hotter and hotter and hotter. And before you know it, we're going to be boiled to death, right? Like that's what's going to end up happening if we don't figure out how to stop this catastrophe of a runaway train now. They tried to scare us. Oh, there's going to be a civil war if Trump is indicted. And oh my God, if this happens, there's going to be a civil war. Well, all right, cool. We've been here before, right? At this point, if that's true, do it. Go. But I just want all of us to keep in mind there's absolutely more of us than it is them. Period. Full stop. Even the ones who are in hiding right now, even the ones who are, too afraid to speak up. There are more of us than it is them. And by us, I mean, there are more people who believe in love. There are more people who believe in faith, who believe in equality, who believe in democracy, who believe that, we should share this country, that everybody should have access, to the resources that they need to live. I truly believe in my heart of hearts that there are more of us than it is them. And at the end of the day, we're going to be the ones who have to stand up and make a decision about what kind of country we want to live in.
Anything this morning, it is the loss of democracy.
So, Florida, this is the second duly elected attorney general that your governor has gotten rid of. So basically, he's telling you that your vote means shit. He's going to do whatever the hell he wants. And let me tell you, he will not be president. He's going to go back to Florida. And what are you guys going to do about it?
So this is all I got from this video. And first of all, I am going to say that a lot has really been going on in Florida. And yeah, and it's true that democracy also dies in Florida. But then, before we get into this democracy dying in Florida and all that, the truth is that a lot of people actually saw this playing out. Some people saw it and they thought it's not going to get to them, right? They saw it and they were like, yo, because they always think most things or most of the rules that they make always or majorly affects Black people, not them, right? But then there are some Black people that are not for Black people. I am going to say this, it's crystal clear. There are so many Candace Owen or the ones that always lay back, because at that point, what is going on is not affecting them directly. But then there is something I need to tell you, or you do not, as a Black person, you do not have to wait till something affects you directly before you speak out. Before you come crying, democracy dies in Florida. I mean, black people already saw that from the onset. They knew it because Florida is where woke goes to die. Everything going on in Florida is anti-woke, and anti-woke is anti-black. When people do not like your people and you all saw him doing some certain things, nobody cautioned him. You people were not against it. This news is actually all over. For the woman that said, like, you know, I don't see people covering it. A lot of people are covering it. That was why I saw it. Like, it's all over, right? And now he has been messing around because now he says that if you are going to be in my way, man, or maybe in the future, you are going to be in my way, I got to remove you. And then he's also trying to let you all know that some of your all votes do not count because this was a fully elected person, like the people elected her. But no, he went out to do what he got to do by removing her. But then the only thing I am blaming her for is that if you already are for black people, just stand up and fight for some certain things. Because I feel like if they had fought against most of the things going on in Florida, ban books, the kids should not know black history, slaves benefited slaveries, and the rest of it. I mean, like, it's a whole lot of horrible things coming up from Florida. And you all did not, you all were in power. I mean, you all did not gather yourselves together to put an end to some certain things. And now it is affecting you directly. Yeah. And now she is crying. I am not like, you know, I am not trying to support what happened to her and all that, but I am saying when you stand out with your people, really stand out. Don't be a sellout or don't be a low-key, you are for black people, but you are on a low-key. You don't want anybody to know that you are for black people. I mean, we need voices. We need people that can come out. One good thing about it is that when you are out there for black people are definitely out there for you. They will speak for you. They will back you up. And now, what are we calling on? We are calling on everybody because this, as it stands, if you all let this man become the president, which I don't see him becoming, trust me, everybody is going to suffer it. Every damn person. A lot of the Cubans, Puerto Ricans, Hispanics voted him in. And it is quite unfortunate. Like, I don't know how they did not see all this playing out. But they were on a low key. But now it is actually affecting everybody. But now this is a great time for everybody to come back and vote him out. Because if you think it is not going to affect the eyes, when it starts going to affect, when it comes, it's going to affect the eyes, nose, and every other places. All the 5 senses of organs, like, you know, when something starts with the ear, the next one, eyes, nose, straight up. So the earlier, the better. If you want to stand out, stand up. It is time to do the right thing. This is where I am going to draw the curtain. Thank you so much for the support. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.